Alright, hello and welcome to Ishani Bengali. This is my new Bengali course, and this is the introductory lesson. First things first, it's a warning. You've probably heard this before if you tried to learn another language, but don't use Google Translate. Leave a comment, email me, ask literally anyone else who speaks the language. Google Translate doesn't account for different dialects and runs on crowdsourcing, which can be a good thing. But if you've been looking for other Bengali courses, just like me, then you've learned that Bengali, not a lot of people are learning Bengali from English, which means Google Translate is inaccurate the majority of the time. Alright, so Bengali, or Bangla, is a language native to the Bengal region of South Asia, which is mostly occupied by West Bengal and Bangladesh. So this right here, this is West Bengal, so that's the Indian side, and there's Bangladesh, which is a separate country. We'll mostly be learning the kind of Bengali spoken in Kolkata, or in West Bengal. That's because that's what I've learned, and yeah. So there's other regions that speak slightly differently. Bangladesh speaks slightly differently. There's also Sylheti Bengali, which is also very different. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Next we have, so despite being the sixth most spoken language, it's not common to find someone willing to learn. A lot of people don't even know about it where I'm from. It's because it's a difficult language to learn for a native English speaker and not very mainstream. So in this course, I'm trying to make a very quick crash course, very beginner, that teaches you the basics without having to learn to read. So you don't have to learn the script. Although, if you do want to, I will provide some resources later on. Oh yeah, it's difficult. So, for a native English speaker, it falls into category 4 according to effective language learning, which I trust that website. So that would mean it takes about 1100 hours. That's a lot of time. So that's why it's not a very popular language. Also, it's not mainstream, as I said. So, like Korean, Mandarin, Japanese, popular languages, but they're even harder to learn. Okay, origin of Bengali. It's derived from Sanskrit, but Sanskrit might possibly have been derived from another more ancient language that linguists call the Proto-Indo-European language, which would have been spoken in the Neolithic era, so a long time ago. And it's also similar to Hindi, Nepali, and other Indian and South Asian languages. Anyways, because of that a more ancient language that Sanskrit was derived from, Bengali has a lot of cognates, so we're gonna learn about them. There are true cognates, so a cognate is a word that sounds similar to a word in another language and means the same, and then there are false cognates, very misleading. They are words that sound similar to words in another language, but they don't mean the same thing. So we're going to have a little bit of an example here. So first we have apel in Bengali, daktar, and fool. I'm going to say, please pause the video for a moment, try to guess what these mean. It's pretty easy, except for one of them, right? Ready? And I'm going to begin. So the first one is apple, as you can see. Apel, apple, very similar. Second is daktar, which translates to doctor. And we have fool, which translates to flower, not fool. So don't go around calling someone a fool, expecting them to be insulted. Alright. So, in this course, I plan to be teaching you learning to read romanization, because if you're going to not learn the script, you're still going to need to have an idea of how the sounds the sounds are and such. Then we're going to go on to sentence structure, because it's different from English, partially why it's harder to learn. Some pronouns, verb conjugations, question words, common phrases, then basic vocabulary. So you'll be able to take all this stuff you learned before and the basic vocabulary and hopefully be able to learn, understand things better, or string together your own words. And then at the end, I'll attach some alphabet learning things if you want them. Alright. So, if you plan to learn, you can always contact me about more details about this course. Leave a comment down below for questions, and here's my email. And again, if you want to learn more about this course, subscribe. Yeah. And I will come up with a schedule very soon.